In order to make some space fruit, just like our artist Andy Warhol, you first have to pick your fruit and then sketch a generic shape for what your fruit looks like. Now, I've got a tall fruit. Does it make sense to have my tall fruit on a piece of paper that's horizontal? Probably not. So if your fruit stands up tall, you want your paper to be vertical. You sketch out a generic shape for what your object looks like. You can always add the details later. If your fruit is wide, like a banana, you want your paper to go the other direction. Once you have your generic shape, you can get a little more specific. Add little dents and details to your object. If you're not sure where to put your lines, you can always take your pencil, hold it in the air, trace it around your object in the air, and that'll help you get the feel for what the object should be shaped like. Once your object is drawn, you're going to add a few shadows using some hatch lines, like we learned about first semester. Since most of your objects are round, your hatch lines should curve and move with the object and only be where you have a shadow on your fruit. After you're done drawing your hatch lines, you get a piece of styrofoam from Mrs. Heigl, and you're going to tape it down. Tape your paper down to the styrofoam. Just use 2 pieces. 2 is plenty. Too many and you'll rip your foam. Then you take a pen and you're going to trace your lines. When you're tracing, you want to make sure you're careful. Don't sketch, because any line you draw will show up in the foam that's below. And there aren't any restarts on the project unless you flip your foam over and use that other side. You also want to be careful when you trace your hatch lines, so it looks like lines and not scribbles. Once the lines are traced, rip off your paper and check your styrofoam. If your dents aren't very deep, you need to go back over them with a pencil so you can make your dents a little deeper. If they're not deep enough, then when we print, your lines won't show up.